Well, we've spoken about Bruce and we've spoken about Gordy, my two husbands. Well, I have had another husband. His name was David, and he was very wealthy. He had his own business of stretching limousines and a mail order business where he developed a certain part for motorcycles, and it just went through the roof with sales and everything, and he made a lot of money doing that. And um, but being as rich as he was so quirky. When it came, he was too cheap to get his own haircut. I had to cut it, and we lived in this what was supposedly was supposed at first sight a beautiful house, but it didn't even have underground plumbing. When you went to the bathroom, everything went down on the ground underneath the house, or showering. Everything went just out the pipe and down on the ground. And then one year, I started seeing nibbling on the carpet. And I thought, what is that? And rats were overtaking the house. And there was plastic up in Bonnie and Rachel's room. And the rats would eat the decon and then land in that plastic. So they went to bed looking up, staring at these dead, bleeding rats. And I had my mother-in-law and father-in-law over for supper one night, and a rat runs right across my mother-in-law's feet. And then you'd go to bed at night, and you'd hear clinking. If you left a dish or a fork or something on the counter, you could listen to the rat playing with that. And finally they chewed a great big hole in the carpet. And then David decided to not use decon because he had a dog, German Shepherd, named Bullet, and he was afraid that he would get that. So we quit using rat poison, and the rats just were running everywhere. It was just horrible. And he was such a controlling freak. He had me under his spell, and I couldn't go anywhere without a bodyguard or him. And he told me it was because he was involved in the mafia, and that you can leave the mafia, but the mafia never leaves you. And he'd gotten into some trouble years back, and he lived in paranoia that these people were going to come back and get him for some reason or another. So we were totally guarded all the time, and it was just hectic. And I knew I couldn't go on living like this. And the rats, he didn't seem to care about the rats. He was always up at the shed working on a limousine. He stretched cars and made them into limousines. But we were there at the house with the rats and everything. And for a lot of reasons, I knew I wanted to leave, but I didn't know how to get out of there. So I devised a plan that it was Mother's Day, and it took me forever to let me just drive into town to get his mom a Mother's Day plant. But instead I got in the car and kept driving and driving, and I ended up going out to California. Then he ended up talking me to come back, and then after a while, there was one day my daughter Chloe was over, and we were it was after